Hello, friends from Full Moon and Papaya Playa Project. We are here, Argenis Brito and Felipe Valenzuela, talking from streaming from Berlin to show more or less how we work here in our studio, in our place where we are like work recorders, and where all the music it's built for our police and everything. So we were supposed to show you more or less how we work, and well, we have a lot of machines, of course, and we work with different platforms. Usually for sequencing, we have live, Ableton Live, new version. And it's more or less just for sequencing. The main thing, the main structure is basically with machines. I think you can see them more or less. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. And well, how we work, that's a difficult question. Like how we start working. It's like there's no such a big concept about how we start making everything with a track. It's more or less about like a flow, okay? And basically, more or less, we start like with a melody. Could be, I don't know, like maybe like some voice or vocals or whatever. And with that melody, we get into the whole harmony, and eventually we take out this first how do you say it? Yeah, and then we keep on like building up. Okay, so now you can start like telling them more or less what we do.
Normally, the important thing is the idea. We start with like sometimes with a bass line or with a beat, and then we start trying some sounds in the machines like a bass line or piano.
Everything is very spontaneous. We don't get into the studio thinking about like building something in specific. We never like feel that this is a must, because then you get into this feeling that you are a slave of a certain kind of situation or build up. So everything is really like
jam,
free, like so. We start like as Argenis says with rhythms or bass, and then we start building everything up from there. We have everything connected to this big mixer that's here. I don't know if you can see it. Let's try to move so they can see. I don't know. Let's move the chair out of it.
And we have the computer, and normally we like to jam. Normally, the approach what we do is like we jam with the machines, and then when we like something, we start recording some lines, and then.
Everything is connected to the mixer, basically. All the machines are into the mixer, and then they're going back to the software and back to the mixer again. So if we start jamming freely, nothing is recorded, and all the machines are like in its own workflow. If we like something, we just record machine by machine, and the jams keep on running on top of it. We have a little device called like a multi-clock. With this machine, we can organize the latency of the machines, so they can be tight. And this allows us to, when we record, to have as well the same approach as it was live. So after that, when everything is sorted, of course, every machine is tweaked for a certain time, and after that the whole recording is ready, and after that we start like editing in the software. But everything is really fast. It's very easy.
Spontaneous. When we like something, for example, we start jamming with a drum machine and a bass, and when we like something, we decide to record this part, and then we tweak it for a long time, and then
exactly,
it's more like, it's not like we need to process it afterwards. We tweak it at the moment that we're recording it, and then we get this flow of movement in the filters or whatever,
Exactly.
in the parameters. So we mainly use the computer to record, not so
Exactly.
much to process or to automatize or
Yeah, mostly computers for like a queuing or things like this, and usually we just come one time per week to record our sound designs, and later on during the week, uh, early morning, we finish like the process of mixing and everything.
arranging or mixing
But
properly.
most of the time, it's we try to make one day just sound design and another day just organizing everything.
Normally, it's more like one session is for jamming, for playing around with instruments and sounds and ideas, and then with a fresh ear, the next day we come and we do arrangement and we do mixing. It's a different process. Normally,
Exactly.
it doesn't work like together. We
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What we can talk about our studio? Well, we are not into the modular world still, but we have a lot of vintage equipment, and well, we can talk more or less about like which kind of equipment we have. For drums, we have Roland drum machines, many of them. Then we have like some group boxes from Bose and whatsoever. And then we are like very big fans of Nord, of this brand that makes synthesizers and pianos. I play the piano since I was a kid, so I like it very much. And also like drums for textures and everything comes more or less from this world. And we're using from the digital world connections of new machines that are like having USB connections for sequencing with the iPad. And
some apps in the iPad, and we like to play around with
and this
controlling and sequencing machines with all machines.
These apps controls certain machines. We also have like a MPC whatsoever. Then for working like piece by piece with the body, more how do you say, the body or everything. We use Eventide harmonizers, old effect, very well known. Exactly. And with this, we process like most of the sounds to make it warmer, to make it bigger, and to make everything sounds more cool. I don't know, like what.
Yeah, our workflow works like that. We have everything in the mixer. We press play. We have the machines running, and we start playing around with elements like different drum machines and different synthesizers, and we play around. And when we like something, we say, "Okay, this is it," and stuff. And when we think it's ready, we record a long track with tweaking the machines, and then we record everything, and then in the second part of the process, we start editing.
Yeah.
But in general, it's more like a plug and play thing.
Yeah, let's say that is just to make guys you understand, because for sure everyone that's like checking up what's about this thing eventually don't have like a big studio, and most of you are like using software. This is more spontaneous, it's more fast, it's faster, you don't need to think about like so much. Everything is like really like pressing, checking up, like see how it is, what's going on. And so I said, like, we can, like, for example, I don't know if I can take one machine, for example, just to give you an approach. There's like different knobs over here. So like this could be like all the buttons that you can put it again, that you will play manually with the mouse in the computer. Here we use our hands to feel. So the way we feel the sounds, it's much more natural, and that's pretty cool, actually.
Yes. Yeah, it makes a more fun workflow. We press play and the machines are like all connected and all synced
and living by its own. They have their own life. their own perspective, their own vision, and with this like little machine that I was talking about, this multi-clock, you can make them all fit together in a very like nice way, you know.
We like to shuffle them. We like to play around with effects and everything connected to the mixer, make a different flow that you can decide what you like, or you create like you get like something you like, and then you say, okay, this is good, let's record it, and then you go to the next machine and you play around with it and you record it. And maybe,
it's really funny.
Yeah, it's a good way. It's a fun way because things happen in a more organic way, and you are able to have fun. You don't need to edit so much. Of course, some people cannot do it like this, but we have been, working for a long time and collecting machines. We don't have that many expensive machines because it's also something that we believe is like these little root boxes or little like toys have a lot of interesting sounds, so we play with them.
Yeah, we used to have like in a couple of years ago like a very big studio, and we realized that when you have so much, eventually you're not really using everything. So we just like shrink everything to make it more simple, and with the simplicity we can go much more further. Now let's talk about advices. Do you think it's okay? Like what we can say about like advice for all of you is like a I'm a bit like thinking that there's a lot of people making too much layers of sounds altogether, and this is not so good for the final product. Why? Because like sounds are like living in a certain frequency inside the total sound of frequency that existed. So if one sound is on top of the same frequency, eventually they will masquerade itself, and you will not be allowed to feel them. So it's very important to use the pannings, to put them in a specific place, the reverbs to put them also like in the specific like how do you say like okay, you understand me. So
yeah, no, we believe like the
less is more.
We believe in strong elements. We believe that you don't need to put so many layers to an idea.
To accomplish,
we've been trying to create tracks that capture the idea that you have at the beginning. So lately our tracks have like a 10, 15
maximum.
And you have to believe more in your ideas and your first impression of what you do, and make the best out of it. And that it has a lot to do to put it in the right frequency, in the right place, and clean it, and not to work so much into
layers,
infinite layers. It's more like the way that this music started. It was like strong elements with little machines that had like the snare and the hi-hat and stuff, but really a strong idea, and believing in that, not making so much.
Let's say that as less you have the best possibility to make that sound fit in its place, you will have. Okay, exactly. So that's more or less
sometimes you're not so sure about your elements, and you start like putting elements on top, and then you cancel those elements, and at the end the idea is lost. So we believe into putting strong elements and placing them in the right frequency, and that's what we try to do. So we try to jam and maybe do a jam one night and create this idea, and maybe the next session with a fresh ear doing the arrangement, and that's it. And not working so much, not thinking so much, not trying to be so perfectionist about.
So let's say that at the end the most important things are like EQing, how the sound goes with reverbs, for example,
position,
and the position into this 3D. Let's say that you feel like this the whole thing like 3D. Then the reverb puts you in this two-dimensional like world of sound where it should fit. And then EQing allows the sound in 2 dimensions to say, okay, this is my position, this is my other position, I will be here, you will be here, and then all will be coexisting into the same thing. Okay.
And then the next step, which is also very important, which is like a part that many people don't like, is a proper strong arrangement.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, like if
like a very nice story about it, the beginning, you know, knowing where the parts go in the arrangement, which is also
yeah, at the end, this is just a matter of taste. Like everyone will decide. Like this is about creativity. So arrangements are like more into like this thing of creation into the computer, into the software.
Exactly.
But mainly the sounds are coming from the machines.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the arrangements are a very important part.
Yeah, it is. It
You're
is.
gonna have very strong elements. If you don't do a strong arrangement, you can lose some power. So
Yeah.
after all these beautiful ideas, then you have to know how to.
Yeah. What else we can say? Argenis is a very cool singer, a very good singer. Like if you don't know his background, he was like singing for Mambotur, for Mr. Coconut, and for many other projects, also for Ricardo Villalobos. He was making. So here we also have like microphones, and we have like some vocoders, and regular basis. I'm allowing my friend to sing on top of the songs to give me the harmony I need to develop like the sound we need for the structures of every track. What else we can talk about? Okay, like we have also mixer. Okay, we talk about the mixer. The mixer, it's also very important. It gives, depending on the quality of the mixer, this will give to the sound itself, like a specific kind of like flavor, a little touch, this saturated kind of thing that you can like, and also a little breathe between every sound.
And body,
Exactly. So then when things go to the mixer and you record through the mixer, then the sound and the quality of the recording is nicer. Like when you go directly to the sound card, to the software, everything is digital. So at the end, the approach and also the feeling is totally different. So
good sound card, very important.
Yeah, good sound card, speakers, like
speakers, like a proper room that how it sounds, how it's gonna sound afterwards outside. The combination of the mixer, the sound card, and the room and the speakers is gonna make the way that it's gonna sound afterwards. Because sometimes
here in the studio we have like PA speakers. Usually, like most of the speakers that are like in the market for studios are like kind of high definition. These speakers are PA. What's PA? PA is like when you are like in a club and you are playing, the DJ booth has PAs. This is like a sound that you use for hearing what you will play in a live act, or in a DJ set. So we decide to change, to get like this kind of speakers that give us the feeling of a club. In this way, we can have the chance to improve our quality regarding like how we make our tracks sound for the club. Okay, like back in the days, we're having like a big speakers, like high definition, and then you can feel all these textures. But when you were going to the club, you cannot feel like maybe the kick or everything was like not in its right place. With this, you can really like have an approach, like proper approach of how it will sound in the club. So this is some prototypes we built by our own with a professional engineer, and it's very cool. Okay.
We also have like this sequence, this frequency. What's this thing called? The RME thing.
There's many things to understand how to understand your mix. Sometimes your room is not sounding perfect, and then you feel that everything is fine. Then you go to the club, it's not working. So we're using, let's say, this little like Totalizer. It's the name of. It's giving us I don't know if you can see
like
this thing here. Okay,
it's
one
gonna
second.
tell us like how the way the frequencies are.
Here,
So you see
okay.
you see
So
how
like,
your frequencies
I
are.
will give an example.
So it
Just
gives you like a
holding down, just for them to see like what is. So
it's gonna tell you like the way that the frequencies are.
So like for example, like here.
See you
Okay.
exactly. This is very important tool, so you can see where the frequencies are. Even it doesn't have anything to do with your room or with your speakers, so you know where the kick is in the right position.
Exactly. Then you know if the mix it's cool enough. If there's like some frequencies that are like too big, and you can balance it like in this way. So like we use the speakers, this thing that is like a reference, and also of course very important thing, headphones, professional headphones for hearing, not the ones you use for DJing. Okay, it's the ones that are like specifically for studios. Okay, and this is very cool because you put them on and usually sounds like shit. So it sounds like shit. It's because everything is wrong, and you have to rebuild it. Okay.
Exactly.
So again, Totalizer, headphones and speakers for making everything rounder. Okay. And I think that's it. That's it. Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. Please help us to with this little this beautiful cause, helping people in Tulum with all this weird situation that we're living.
Yeah, it's very important to stick together, to support. Like it's gonna be a very difficult time for parties and for producers and musicians to get through the time into this. So it's very important that we all get together and we help each other. Okay, so I'm very happy to get a chance to make this talk to you guys and to help the guys from Papaya Playa and to Full Moon guys. Let's stay in touch. Everyone that has any kind of doubts, you can write me over Facebook. I'm always replying to everybody. Okay, and me and Argenis, we say we give a big kiss to everyone that's taking the chance to check this platform in the social network. So stay in touch. Take care and don't go out. Stay safe in your houses, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.